Hi, are you a network engineer in Nigeria looking to take your career to the next level? Or perhaps you're just looking for a significant salary raise with the condition of things in the country now. Or you're even looking for opportunities to travel abroad, get to see more of the world while you do what you love doing. Well, if this is you, then this video is for you because this is exactly what happened to me. 4 years ago, I got a job from Nigeria, a network development engineer role, which moved me from Nigeria to Ireland, all expense paid by my employers. And before that, I had just about 4 years of networking experience, 2 years as a report engineer doing more of Excel work, and the other 2 doing IP related and transmission related work. So I'll be sharing with you in this video my experience from the job search to the interview and the relocation process after I secured the job. So let's get right into it. So first of all, I'll be talking about the job search process. For the job search, there are a lot of sites out there on which you could start searching for a job. Sites like Indeed, Jobberman, even LinkedIn. Yes, LinkedIn is a powerful site to start your job search. A lot of people think LinkedIn is just like a social network where you just put your CV and then hopefully a recruiter finds you and reaches out to you. But LinkedIn is actually very powerful. You can make some really good connections on LinkedIn that could help you in your job search. You could just reach out to people in different organizations, maybe people that are already doing the kind of job that you're looking to do. Reach out to them. So you could make strong connections on LinkedIn that could help you get interview invites. For instance, a connection on LinkedIn could refer you if they've had this talking relationship with you where maybe you have told them what you're doing at your current place of work, and they could reach out to you if, for instance, they find that there's a vacancy within their organization that from their chat with you, they can tell that you would be a good replacement. And a lot of organizations offer good incentives to employees if they are able to refer candidates who pass and join the company. So do yourself a favor, reach out to people who are already in the kind of organization that you would like to work at. Tell them what you're already doing and make sure your LinkedIn profile is also updated so they can also check for themselves and see the kind of experience that you have. So for job search, I'd say make sure that your LinkedIn profile is updated. And then, yes, you can use tools like Indeed, Jobberman, there's a whole lot of them to actively search for roles that are tailored to what you can do, apply for those jobs. Please note that the job application process can be a job on its own because you have to be consistent. You have to apply to as many jobs as possible because sometimes you could apply for 100 jobs before getting 2. But there are some tips that can help you as well to improve your chances of getting interviews. You know the saying, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again and you're expecting different results, that is insanity. So I'd say to maximize your chances of getting interview invite, you do need to tailor the CV that you're using to apply to the job description. So in many cases, especially the big organizations, a human cannot possibly go over the thousands, in some cases, of CVs that they get for a particular role. So they use some computer-based systems, especially now in this time of AI. If you have a basic understanding of how computer programs work, you know that they will just be screening your CV in search of some specific keywords that are associated with the role that you're applying for. That's why you need to tailor the CV. And by tailoring, it is not something that is too complex. You just need to go over the job description that you're applying for and make sure that your CV seems suitable for that role. I mean, they cannot be looking for someone who has, for instance, 5 years experience and you have only 2 years experience. You may not get the job. Now, this is a very basic example. Or let's say they're looking for a multilingual person and you happen to know the languages they're looking for, say English and French, but you didn't put it in your CV. So how will the computer guess that? That's why you need to go over the job description and match your CV with what is required so as to optimize your chances of getting the job. Number 2, interview preparation. Yes. So after you get the job interview invite, now you have to prepare to get the job. So for this stage of the whole process, I would say networking would help a lot. Because when you have someone who already works in the organization or has worked in that organization and you reach out to them and ask questions about what to expect at the interview, trust me, it helps you a lot in knowing where to focus your preparation for the interview. For instance, just knowing the areas that will be covered during the interview. Some recruiters would even give you a whole lot of information if you ask, because sometimes they won't just willingly give to you. So you could also ask the recruiter smart questions, because most recruiters are out to see that you get the job. Like, they wouldn't invite you for an interview just to waste the time of the interviewers. So if you have any connection, someone that works in the organization or have worked there, you could also ask them about what to expect. And sometimes you could be lucky to even get the person who's working there or have worked there do a mock interview for you. Now, this really helps because the information you might get from this, your connection who works there, just helps you understand what the interviewer is looking out for, so you better tailor your answers. So don't expect your connection to tell you the exact questions that will be asked, but just helping you get in the mindset of what the interviewer is expecting to hear could go a long way in helping you, in line with the culture of the organization and their core values and principles. That could go a long way in helping you get the job. Now, in my case, I had a connection that I was talking with on and off for a few years, even before I got the interview. So as soon as I got the interview invite, I reached out to him, and immediately I told him I had gotten the interview for the particular role and level. He asked me a few questions, and when I couldn't answer them, he advised that I reach back to the recruiter and ask for an extension, which I did, and it really helped because it gave me more time to prepare for the interview. And well, the rest is history, as they say. I got the job. So if I didn't have this connection, I wouldn't have understood the depth of knowledge that I needed to get the job. So again, networking is very important. Not only will it help you to get an interview invite, but it can also help you in preparing for the job interview. Number 3, the relocation process. Yes. So after you get the job, let's say it's an international job and you need to relocate. In my own case, my employer took care of everything. So I don't really have much information about employers who don't manage everything for you. I would maybe do some research and come back and do another video on that. But in this video, I'm just sharing my own experience. So for me, after I got the job, my employers started to work on the work permit for me because I was to relocate to Dublin, Ireland, where I still am working with the same employer 4 years later. Yeah. So they did the work permit for me. And because it was during the pandemic, it took about 3-4 months for it to process. But I think on average, it takes between 4 weeks to 8 weeks. That's like a month to 2 months to process. So after the work permit, then I was qualified to apply for my visa because I needed to use the work permit in my visa application. So it took about 9 weeks to get the visa. After I got the visa, my employer was generous enough to give a relocation allowance, which helped me in relocating from Nigeria to Ireland. So my advice for you at this stage is, while you're doing all the processing and all that, getting housing can be a hurdle, especially in countries like Ireland at this moment. Getting a house is even more difficult than getting a job. So depending on where you're relocating to, while you're going through all the visa process or the work permit process, I advise that you start doing your research on how to get a house. If you have connections in that country, maybe people that are already living there, like the people that helped you in preparation and or referring you for the job, you could start asking questions about how to get a house. Now, your employer could be generous enough to even offer you up to a month or 6 weeks of housing while you look for a place, but not every employer does that. In my case, I only got 2 days of hotel accommodation. But lucky for me, my hiring manager was nice enough to help me search internally. Like, he was checking. So the organization, most companies would have like some chats groups where people who are moving out will inform the entire organization. So if there are other people that were searching. And so lucky for me, there was a guy who was about to move out of his place, was a studio apartment, and my manager went to see the place for me even before I moved, and he told me about it, and I was so happy, and I got that place. So yes, it is important that you reach out because you don't want to get into the country first, especially if you don't have any provision from your employers, like any reasonable time provision for accommodation. So it's important to do that so you don't come and be frustrated. Maybe you've even started work and you're still looking for accommodation. It's going to affect you. Yeah. And also when you relocate, I advise that you reach out to people as much as possible, because it can be lonely, especially if it's a country where you don't have any family. You can feel very lonely. So I advise that you try to have a community, make friends, don't be isolated. It affects, like it could even impact your mental health, especially if you're struggling with the job. Sometimes even the weather condition, the change in the weather can affect your mood, and you begin to feel depressed, or you just see that your performance might even be affected at work. So it's important to maintain a healthy social life. There are sites like meetup.com where you could sign up for different activities. You make new friends. So this video is just a summary. I try not to give too much information in this video. So if you're interested to learn more about relocation processes, how to get a job abroad, or how to migrate, cost-effective means to migrate, or even relocation as a student. I happen to assist my brother to relocate as a student down here in Ireland last year. So I have a bit information about that as well. So if you're looking for such information, please hit the subscribe button, and I'm also going to drop a link to my email list in the description below, and you can subscribe as I'll be sharing whatever information I have from time to time. And also please drop any comments, questions, or whatever kind of video. Maybe there's something you would like me to go in depth about. Please drop a comment in the comment section with this, and I promise that I want to try and do at least 1 or 2 videos every week going forward. And the videos will be in this line of helping professionals like you out there who are looking to progress in their career, or migrate, or, just grow. Yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you got something in this video. And yes, if you did, then you may find this video right here interesting. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.